So guys, we're going to start off at the bottom, work our way up a little bit as usual, mix up the stretches a little bit tonight. First thing we need to do is start with calves. Okay, start around the ankle. I just want you to push the heels down into the floor, and then think about bringing the knees forward, but keeping the heel down on the floor. And all the stretches tonight are probably going to be around 30 seconds, some a bit longer, some a little bit shorter, but around 30. Good in 3, 2, 1. Coming up and change the other leg back. Drive that heel down into the floor. Again, lean against the mirror if you can. And push that heel down into the floor. Three, 2, 1. And coming back up. Guys, if you remember the stretch we did for our feet last week, so foot on an object or against corner of, oh, we can do it against the corner of the desk or against the wall, skirting board. Okay, again, if you've got shoes on, just make sure they're clean. And just want you to push that foot down so you can see the angle at my ankle is massive. So it's a bit of a stretch. Again, for the toes, plantar fascia, maybe even the ankle. So just push the knee forward, but keep that heel down still. So your standard knee to wall stretch for that small muscle called soleus that comes up from your Achilles tendon, the back of the leg. With that stretch, you'll have the foot flat on the floor, bring the knee forward. This, again, will stretch less, but it stretches a bit of plantar fascia as well. And your toes as well, you can get involved with, push the foot down a little bit further, you can get your toes bending, therefore kind of the sole of your foot, okay? Bottom of your foot, plantar fascia, you can give that a bit of a stretch as well. Again, I'm using the stepper, you can just pop it up against desk, sofa, chair leg, wall, door, wherever you want to do it. Change your feet there, guys, and just have a little go with the other foot. So push the foot into the step, push the knee forward, and just hold. Three, 2, 1. And coming back up. We're going back to calves, guys. Okay, so supersetting these two. So again, try and have a longer lunge back this time. Drive the heel back even further than you did last time. Three, 2, 1. And change legs. And drop the other heel back. And push down into the floor. And 3, 2, 1. And again, back to the feet, guys. So again, heel down, toes curled up, and push the knee forward. Again, use the corner of a room, a table, a chair, whatever you've got. Push the knee forward whilst keeping that heel down. 3, 2, 1. Coming up, changing feet. And push down. And for 3, 2, 1. We're coming back to calves. Okay, so push that heel back. See if you can get a little bit further again. It's 3, 2, 1. And changing over. Keep holding there, guys, and again, keep pushing that heel down, lean the front leg forward, bring the knee forward to add to the stretch a little bit. Right, in 3, 2, 1. Go there. Okay, again, feet, toes up on a surface, in the corner of the room, and just push the knee forward and hold. 3, 2, 1. And then come up again, changing feet. Good. And 3, 2, 1. And 0. Come up there. Okay. Guys, give it a little bit of an ankle roll. Kind of 10 one way. And 10 the other way. Again, just to loosen off at the ankle. When you're ready, change your feet. Okay, 10 one way, 10 the other. And again, changing directions. And stopping there. Guys, a little mobility pattern we worked on a couple of weeks ago. Okay, so you're kind of squatting down onto your heels. Okay, and just from there, pushing the knees back and bringing the hips up high. Okay, so you're kind of reaching down towards the floor. You're gonna bring the knees down. Okay, see how far you can sit back to your heels. Again, I can sit all the way on the left, on the right, and then bring yourself up nice and high, and you'll feel quite an intense hamstring stretch at the back of the feet. If you find that really difficult, guys, step ready here, that's lucky. Use a step, okay, and just practice. Not going as low, and helps your steps are floating. If that's difficult, use your stairs, guys. Use your second step or use your third step, okay, whatever you can get hold of. Make it harder, hands on the floor to make it easier, hands up higher. Use a worktop or a little table if you've got one, or footstool, or otherwise your stairs, okay? And again, just when you're ready, drop the knees down. So you're trying to stretch front of the knee. And then you're pushing up, hips up, high, stick your bum out, and you're getting a hamstring stretch there. And then again, knees come down, forward, and then again, push up, nice and high. And then again, coming down. A little click of my foot there, and then again, hamstrings, push the legs back, push the knees back. So bend the knees forward, and push the knees back. Okay, just once more through, bend the knees forward, and then push the knees back. And again, you can do this, guys, on the floor, or you can do it using a step on the stairs. Okay, slowly coming back up. Okay, and then we're going to come down to the floor next, guys. So just find a bit of space. We're doing chair squats in our HIIT session, so have the chair already. Coming down to the floor. And we're going to start off with a bit of a hamstring routine. So we're going to go wide hamstrings to start with. So feet facing up, legs fairly wide. Then reach forward, just see how far forward you can get. Okay. You may get a bit of stiffness in your back, maybe your glutes, your bum, maybe the back of the thighs, your hamstrings. Again, when you're ready, just reaching out the hands. And again, can you creep in the reach forward? I'm going to see if you feel that deep stretching sensation, just hold. And then walk yourself over, so you got one hand either side of the left leg, and try and walk yourself as far down your sock line as you can. Walk yourself to the heels. Again, if you're just at the knee or at the shin, absolutely fine. Just see how far forward you can lean, how much length your hamstring giving you, how much range you got through your lower back. Okay, so just lean forward, hold the stretch. And then walk your way back to the middle, guys. Then walk the hands over to the right side. Okay, or opposite side if you've done that. And again, just hold there. When you can, lean body forward more. Go for it. Just keep walking the hands down towards your trainers or your feet. Go back to the middle, guys. Okay, can you go further forward now? I certainly can. Press my heels. Again, guys, if you're ever doing this at home, it's a really nice self-assessment tool. Either remember where you've gone to on the carpet, or you can put a couple of coins down and just push them out with your hands and just see how far you get before. Then do left and right, 30 seconds side, and then again see if you can get further forward. And again, you should do 10 out of 10 times. Okay, guys, coming back up. Next, we go narrow hamstring, so I kind of sit and reach test. Again, this one you may feel back of the knees a little bit more, or kind of even into kind of calves. Again, you still might feel it. Hamstrings. Reach for your toes. If you're just getting your shins, your ankles, fine. If you can get to your toes, get to your toes. And just hold. And lean. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Come back up. Again, guys, want the feet to come wide. This time, you go as wide as you can. So we're probably going to get groins, a little bit more hip adductors, as well as hamstrings. Go as wide as you can. The legs, I can feel that stretch already. Then you don't have to go as far with this one. As soon as you start walking the hands out, you'll feel a bit of a stretch. If you don't, again, bring your chest forward, bring your body forward. And coming back up. Okay, another groin stretch. Next, the butterfly stretch. You bring both feet in, soles of the feet together. And again, just gently pushing the knees out. Just hold. And again, guys, if the stretch eases up, just use your elbows to push out a little bit further. Likewise, if it's enough of a stretch, just kind of sat up and letting the legs fall out, then just go for that. But if you can, just gently as the stretch, I'll just very, very gently push down with the elbows until you feel that stretch. 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, coming up. Next, guys, individual hamstring. So leave one leg bent into the other leg. Okay, and then just reach forward down the straight leg. And again, just hold, find that nice point of stretch. There. It's not painful, but you are getting that strong stretching sensation. And you're just holding there. So slowly coming back up. We're just going to change the legs. So you're straightening the opposite leg. So I'm straightening my right leg. And then the left leg's going as a bit of a block. And in there, and again, just reaching forward. Hold. That's 3, 2, 1. And slowly coming up. And next, we're going to do a step over stretch. And then the leg comes up and over. And you hug that leg in tight. Okay, so IT running glutes with this one. As well as pulling it in, like I said before, pull round, just trying to pull it in and round. So that's why it's good to use the opposite arm. So I use my right arm as a hook for my left leg. Another way actually to add in as well is as you pull it in, try and look the other way as well. So I'm using my right arm to pull, so I'm looking to the left side. And you can kind of twist yourself around. You may get a bit more of a stretch with that as well. And come back down there, straighten that leg, and then it comes up and over. Try and use the opposite arm if you can to hook and pull in. Okay, if you can't use, again, the clips arm to pull in, but otherwise you can get the other one round far enough. And give it a tight squeeze in and pull both in and round, and then just hold. And again, that's 3, 2, 1, and 0. Come down there. Okay. Next stretch, guys, coming back down to the floor. That's our piriformis stretch. So it's the figure 4 stretch, ankle over knee. Okay. And then drive that knee in towards you. Grip around the back of the leg and pull in. If you struggle with that, use this foot here while I'm kicking up and down. Push that against the sofa, against the wall, and again, ease yourself into the stretch. You can use the calves to push away, push the sofa away, to push the knee in towards you with that one, if you are using sofa or wall. Yeah, that's 3, 2, 1. And coming down there, change the legs. So my right foot's down, left ankle on right knee. Right knee pushes in towards my body. I've got my right left hand at the back of my right thigh. And I'm pulling in tight and holding. And I'm slowing my breathing down, relaxing into the stretch. Just keeping the pressure on, still pulling in. And for 3, 2, 1. And slowly coming down. Okay, next stretch, you straighten the left leg, bring the right knee up and over. Okay, you're going to get the side of the thigh and the glute. Okay, so your bum muscles. You may also get the lower back a little bit on this, or back of the pelvis as well. So cross body stretch, so you've got a crucifix position to start with, arms are wide, legs are straight, knee comes up and over. Then you can use this hand here to just pull on the outside of the knee as a bit of a hook for the stretch, and then you can look the opposite way again. And slowly coming up from there, straighten that right leg and then bring left knee up and over, across and at the hook. And just pull down tight. Good, last 3, 2, 1. And come out. We're going to turn that stretch into a little bit of a mobility pattern next, okay? So you start from that crucifix position, so arms wide, and you're going to bring the leg up, get as far as you can, and then across as far as you can, and then back up and back down. So it's a straight leg raise, test the hamstring length, and then you come across, you're testing hammy arms, glute, hip mobility, and length. Kind of trying to aim for your hands basically. Leg comes up and across. And you can bring it back to the start. Then it comes up and across. Again, if one side's a bit tighter, feel free to work on that a little bit more. I feel my right hip a lot tighter, so I'm just going to do a few more repetitions on my right side than my left. If you don't notice any difference, then just keep alternating. And stop in there. Okay guys, next, back to hamstrings. This one probably my favourite hamstring stretch actually. Right leg comes up, left leg, straight leg raise, and then you can use your hands, okay, around the back of the knee, around the back of the shin, to pull that knee in further, okay. You're kind of testing out the hip as well, how much flexion can you get the hip in. At the same time you are stretching hamstrings as well, because there's a slight bend in the knee, a little bit more with hamstring, but just pull that leg in and just see how much range you can get through there. This is another one where you can add a towel around the foot and pull it down and pull it in, or you can use resistance bands as well. Usually heavier ones are better for stretching. The lighter ones, kind of, you'll end up just bouncing in and out of the stretch a little bit. You get a heavy band if you can. So slowly go back down, changing the legs. And straight leg, pull in. And again, if that hamstring does ease up, guys, the posterior thigh eases up, then again, pull in tighter, pull in further. Okay, slowly bringing that leg down there. Guys, quads next, onto your side. You can hook your leg, push the feet down into the floor. You can also do your 8 PM clap for the NHS. I can hear the people outside, as we hear every week. I can hear someone with their bell back this week. And the dogs aren't out again. I think there's a few more people back out again this week. Must be the weather. Have a nice long quad stretch for this one, guys. 3, 2, 1, and change sides. And again, switch over, So you can add that hook into the floor. That's all I'm doing. And then if you drive the hip down, you get more hip flexors as well. Okay. Again, feel free to clap your chest. If you want to take part, you clap your chest. Or clap your hands if you're having a leg hook onto the floor. Yeah, pull in tight. Again, if you want more quads, keep the knees together. Okay, and just pull the heel into the bum. If you want more kind of top of the hip and hip flexors, you will need to pull that leg behind the other one. Good, and kind of there. Guys, next we're going to come into another hip flexor stretch. Okay, so kneeling hip flexors. This is one way you could do it, doing it against the wall. Or, okay, I've got the desk just here to add a bit of support. So I can actually lean on this really easily. One leg comes forward. I'm stretching the kneeling legs, hip flexors. So I'm just pushing that hip both forward and down to the floor. And just holding there. And it's tight. If you think about as well, tucking the tailbone, tensing your abdominals and your glutes, tucking your tailbone underneath you, you'll feel a much, much heavier stretch for the hip flexors as you're bringing the hips into a posterior tilt, which means basically you're just adding in more to the stretch. If you let the pelvis tilt down, if you think the attachment is here at the top of the hip, so if it's coming down, you're taking the slack off, whereas if you tilt, posterior tilt under, you're tightening, you're adding to that stretch again. So you're almost kind of thinking up tall, hips tucked under before you start. So again, I'm going to change sides now. Left knee down, right leg forward. Okay, fairly far forward because it's going to add a bit of support for the stretch. I'm thinking first of all, not pelvis tilted down, I'm thinking pelvis tucked underneath, abs should be tense. Then push forward and push down. It's a little tip for you to stretch the hip flexors. Think of their attachment points. It's the top of the hips, and the hip backwards, you're adding tension. That's 3, 2, 1. Change legs again. We're going to make it even more difficult. Right leg down. This time, okay, so I'm just going to use the desk again for a bit of support. Just try and bring the foot up first. So I'm actually grabbing now the top of my right foot. So I'm on my right knee, and I'm doing almost like a quad stretch. Put the right knee in, and then lean forward. So again, you will need, I can do it unsupported, but it's not as good a stretch. Try and lean on something, add a bit of support, and then again push the pelvis down to the floor. And that is the longest quadricep, which is also a hip flexor, and that is your rectus femoris. So the top layer of your quads, the number 4, the quad's the top one. Also, it's a long one, so it touches the knee and hip. And that's the one that extends the knee and flexes the hip. So you're kicking muscle, amongst other things. Coming down there, guys, and changing legs. So now I'm left knee down, right foot forward, left foot up. Grabbed it with my left hand, so I'm doing a bit of a quad stretch. And then I'm leaning forward again. I'm using the desk as a bit of support. And feel free to lean against it as well. And just hold it. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Going back there. It was a really good stretching session again. We've done ankle rolls, ankle mobility, calf stretches, loads of hamstring work, pelvic work, both abductors and adductors, and we finished off with some quads and hip flexors. Any questions as usual, jack@energizedtherapy.com will get hold of me as you usually do. You need to comment on the chat box. Really good session, guys. Thank you for taking part. It's going to be the same time next week.